What's going on, everyone? Well, I actually found it. Look, I found the remnants of the old Daniel Boone Railroad. And as you can see, you can see the gravel and the wood, and it gets to be more as we go. Look, as you can see, I know there used to be a side rail, and I'm hoping to still find it, but this was part of the old theme park of the Daniel Boone Village. It kind of had it's kind of like Tweetsie Railroad, you know, if you've ever been there in Blowing Rock in the mountains of North Carolina. There was a Ferris wheel, and they had this train track. They had a whole cowboy and Indian, you know, show where, you know, actors, you know, playing both cowboys and Indians would jump on the train and chase each other and shoot at each other or whatnot, whatever they did back then. But it was in the 60s, and the guy who started it, James Freeland, he was actually nicknamed the Walt Disney of Hillsborough, North Carolina. And he passed away several years ago. He did a lot for this town. The Daniel Boone, there's still a lot of remnants of this place. There's the village where the antique shops are. It still has kind of a western looking theme to it. You can still shop here, but and there's still some like old vehicles, like old wagons and whatnot. But look at this. That is so cool. I mean, you could tell that this is where it was. I'm going to get some photographs here in a little bit. Let me get it from the side angle. See, look at that. That is just too cool. I don't know how far. Seems like the guy who I did some Google research on here, and he did say that it was to the right of the old campground, and that's the campground I lived in when I was when we moved from Texas. I was like 3 or 4, and it's not a campground anymore, but it still shows up on Google Earth as a campground loop in Daniel Boone Village. Yeah, so I was kind of surprised about that. I guess that's it. I was still hoping to find the side rail of the train. Yeah, that's a stick that fooled me. That is cool. Like, you could tell that this was, with the gravel and all that, that's obviously it. They actually took the train, they sold the train to Carowinds at some point in the 70s. I don't know how old Carowinds actually is, but that, from what I read, that's where it went. And it's been sold several times through the years. Even maybe before it landed in Carowinds, it was sold to other people. But, oh wow, about fell back. This is something though. I'm grateful that I found what I found, and oh, where the food line is now, well, that might be, no, but anyway, where the food line is now is actually where the Ferris wheel used to be. And there was a Ferris wheel, and there's something else, a big slide, a big tall slide, and maybe a couple other rides. It was a small, little theme park, and the Environmental Protection Agency closed them down at some point. I guess they felt it was environmentally unfriendly to have it going through the forest here, so they had it stopped, and that's why they sold it to Carowinds or whoever they sold it to next. I appreciate you joining me, and if I can find more, I'll let you know. I really will.